my squad's been going through the ringer the last few weeks, and yeah, didn't end up making any trades last week. Thought it was pretty well set up, and it was just that Gutho one. I was like, oh, he'll be right against the Tigers, and the Cowboys one's wet, and Warriors will do all right. But yeah, we'll have to fix that one. That's a tough one this week. But buy, hold, sell, hey? And hopefully I've been helping you guys along the way. We'll kick it off up top. Hooking position, it's still gross. I think it's really only Cam McInnes that you should be looking at the moment. Now, with Sandon in my team at near 500k, he's a number for round 12. So, he's concussed. Doesn't matter this week anyway, given he's on the bye. You can just play him in round 12 anyway. And he has every opportunity to do better than most of these guys, in my opinion, and just play Starling this week and hope for a better score in the 50s or 60 would be nice. But if you are trading in this position, McInnes, I think is the play. You're getting that sort of 55 to 60 odd pretty comfortably, and then the odd game where he scores a try or gets an assist, he does pretty well. So if you are trading like Connor Watson, then I do think straight to McInnes at that price point works well. If you're looking to go up, Mambazelis is the other one that if you do own with his injury at 435k now, cheaper than Sandon Smith, I think he can be sold. And again, I would go up to McInnes in that scenario there. Riley Smith is the cheaper one. Do you want him to be in your starting side? He got through plenty of tackles on the weekend, but still didn't score incredibly well. With 50, it's fine. He's at 302k. Would do a job. Front row forward, there are lots of options, and you're not selling any of the guys that I have in my team. Haas, Tino, May. Maybe you're done with Horsburgh, and that could be the trade in that front row forward position. And if so, you're looking at cheapy in Hamish Stewart at 321k. You've got Leo Thompson that's scoring well at the moment. The 77 on the weekend was good. He's averaging 58.7 and 58.4 his last 3 and 5. So you could do that, but a 511 feels like he's probably more of a fantasy buy with the base stats there. But Joe Tarpany's the guy, I think. At 720, we know that he has upside. He's scored tries. He's had assists this year and averaging 78 for the season. So yes, if you're looking at straight up averages, it's Haas, it's May, it's Tino, and it's Tarpany. So with those three going to be out in round 12, do you want Tarpany with that type of upside? Now, Adam Fanua-Blake, I think, is someone you can wait for, given the 3 low scores in amongst last week's, 2 weeks ago's good one. So he's one to potentially target, I think, in round 12, though. He just isn't seeming himself right now, so have a look then. Aaron Clark, just base stats, killing it. So if you want someone that's good until round 15, I think Clark is the play in second row forward, front row forward at not an expensive price. Not too crazy anyway. Much higher than where it was, but 607 isn't too bad when you've got, like myself, guys like Preston to sell. Nafahu White, make sure you hold on to him. And you can look at guys like Barnett. We'll get Fish back next week or the week after. But front row forward, apart from what we saw there with Patea being a cheaper guy that you could slot in and potentially get a score out of him in round 12 as well. And got that 75 with the try, so very, very impressive there. Couchman to clear hold. And yeah, looking at my second row forward now, Preston would be the other guy to potentially move on from. So yeah, front row forward, pretty simple there. A few guys up top, couple in the mid-range, and Stewart, Patea, those guys in the cheap range. Now, second row forward, Preston is the guy to sell. I do think Dylan Lucas is a clear guy to target. You've unfortunately missed out on some good cash rises from both Moore there, up to 647 now. And doesn't play round 12, so if you are looking for a round 12 number, then getting Dylan Lucas will be the play there. Averaging 81 for the season, and yeah, he's at the top of the list for second row forwards and pretty high up as well in the centre wings. Hudson Young, still a really high price and probably makes origin, so he's one you can leave out. Guys like Olakau'atu and Eli Katoa are guns in their own right, so anytime you can get them 650 or just below is an interesting opportunity. And if you're in a good spot for round 12, remember it doesn't matter too much around which position they play, because you can have 4 reserves and all the starting side as well as flex. So it's 18 available options there with AEs and stuff as well. So it's pretty easy to get the 13 on the park. So it doesn't exactly matter for the most part where which position they're in. Matey Nicholson, you keep holding on to. Guys like Thomas Cant, you can remove out of your side if you're needing that or ready for that, and you can go up. Down, there's limited opportunities, I think, at this point on the lower side, with not a lot of guys flying down there or being worth it, to be honest with you. It's Dylan Egan at 460 coming off the good one. That would do a job for you. And then down below, you can take a punt on guys like Lemuelu after they've had a couple of good weeks in them. Britton Nicker at 535. If you're ready to jump on that train, then he could do well. He's averaging 57 with a lot of tries this year. So if you do think that he can come good, then sweet, but he just doesn't look the same player. At this point of the season, Kuipers Paul still scoring really well, 607. If you do need the cash out that you're hoping to play in round 12, then that's where Hugo Savala at 290 can work there for you, even without him playing this week. And the mid-range there is Leka Halasima, 55 in the full 80 minutes with no attacking stats. It's pretty good at 448. So they're the guys to look at. Pikura goes back to the bench. Hopgood, man, he's under 500k. That's just criminal. Isaiah Yeo, I think, he probably do hold the 1 week and then sell next week. He's just not scoring as well as he did last year. 55 average across the 3 rounds. Not super ideal. Angus Crichton not scoring well also. Do you want to sell him before he potentially loses some cash? Yes, got 1 more week next week. So before he potentially loses some cash now on the buy. Would you trade him next week anyway or just wait till Origin? Not scoring as well. And you're seeing that with a few guys. They're just falling off a little bit compared to what we've seen in previous seasons. So most of our second row forwards not doing too bad there in that one. For halfbacks, it's very similarly Hines, Cleary, and guys like Jerome Hughes at the moment. You're looking at Metcalf as well. If you're holding on to him flying, just keep continuing with that one. Isaiah Katoa, really solid season so far. 66.7 is his average, and Mitch Moses, 2 decent scores, but I think there's a good chance of playing Origin. So really, it's Get Hines, I think. Operation Get Hines, and then Hughes is doing fine. Scored basically the same as Munster this week, and almost at a similar price. So he probably comes in for Cleary for me next week if I do go down that route. And there's not too many others that I think you want to look at in the half spot. Now, 5/8. Really, it's king to gear if you're going in this spot, or you're taking a flyer on Jaden Campbell coming back and doing really well. You could buy Metcalf, but it's a pretty expensive price now at 545. Although we've got injuries and high price guys going down, so maybe you could take a flyer on him or Matty Burton at 576, but didn't score well the last week and has a 47 3-round average, so you can wait a little bit longer, especially against a good side in Canberra. Weeks had a good week, don't buy him. It's been very few and far between for KO, given 100 puts him to a 47.8 average. So 5/8, pretty rough. King Tagia is the cheap play, and if you've got Dewey, you can move him down to centre wing, or however you want to play that one, or King Tagia, you can hold off the 1 more week, given he's coming off an 80 odd, but he also has the 1 more week before he makes any cash. So that's 5/8. Now centre wing, Toya and Billy Smith. Toya definite hold. Billy Smith, annoying that he's only made a little bit of cash. I've bought him in for 35 and a 34. Tamale clear hold. Purdue is the one kind of worry, I suppose. At 638k, is it the correct time to trade him out with a break even of 100? Doesn't play round 12, but has a good little stretch after that. I think at that price point, there's definitely guys to go to, and we know that we mentioned Dylan Lucas in the second rows. He's a great pick as well in the center wing. So very safety, strong scorer, has the try assist in his game, has the tries, has the base stats. So he's awesome, along with Kale Iro. But I do think that number 1 priority in Supercoach this week is Kraz. Just because I think he has this upside. And yes, it's against Canberra this week, but we know he has the base stats and he has the tons in him. So break-even wise, he's the number 1 guy to target, given break even at 36. So if he gets an 80, he's going up a good amount again, and it'd be hard to buy him next week. And then if he doesn't make Origin, you're going to want him round 12. So just get him now. And that's where it's similar to Lucas. I think Garrick's in a good spot that most people will want him come round 12, so you get him in the next few weeks. There's a lot of guys of interest down here. Greg Marzhew, Fletcher Sharp, Iro, Herbie Farnworth. You could go into round 12 with 4, 5 of them and do a really good job. This seems to be the position where there are lots of really, really strong options. And then fullback, there's a little bit less. Drinkies, Guthos, missing round 12. Teddy could be the clear option down in fullback. Now, which one do you pick out of these few? Fletcher Sharp has the break even there of 35, and it will improve after this week again. So he should make money for a couple of weeks with the big score now, and he has the Titans this week. So I think Fletcher Sharp's a fun one. Guys like Dan Gagai, who haven't scored super well this year, could definitely do a really good job for you at a cheaper price there. Val Holmes, hard to buy leading into round 12 now. Still scoring really well at 94 on the weekend. Greg Marzhew didn't look himself on the weekend for the first half, improved in the second. He's up to 670 now, and I do think you probably pick Dylan Lucas just over him. You make sure you do get Karaz. You can even almost pick Kale Iro over him, the way that he's going as well. And then Fletcher Sharp or Greg, either one. Both similar price, doing good work there as well. Nwangani Tawaze, keep hold of him. He's been awesome. Bradman Best, a fun pick as well at 617k, averaging 69, and yeah, not a terrible price at all. We'll see To'o back this week, but don't jump on him, given Origin is around the corner. Tamale's a clear hold. Shibasaki can hold as well. He's managed to hold price there after a 59 3-week average, and comes up against the South this week, so it could be a fun matchup for him to hold on to, and that's the problem. Only do have Payne Haas now in the Broncos setup, and they're coming up against a lovely opponent they can punish this week, I think, in the South, even though they do have a couple back, which is good. Stephen Crichton, big one. Stone Street, Cobo 472. He's scored better the last few weeks, but can you jump on him? Gagai's a 5'11", so if you need someone cheaper in centre wing, he'll do a job, and I think we get him back up to 65 to a 70 average there. And just to finish this one off with the fullbacks, and Gutho will have to go. It's just not happening for him. He's not getting good ball like he was, and his mate Tuipulotu not on the left-hand side. Teddy's the target long term, and Drinky. But Drinky's 822k now. Can we go Fletcher Sharp at fullback, or do you take the flyer on Campbell like I mentioned? I think you can get away with it. I think Ponga's a fun couple of week play as well. But yeah, Sharp, can he do a good job for you at 640 rather than paying the 820 for Drinky against Panthers this week, who could get back to like a 60 or 70. It's a pretty interesting little situation there, and I suppose based on the amount of cash you got, can you do upgrade, downgrade to get Drinky? Do you wait the week and get Teddy the following week? It's an interesting one, and just one where I wish I just did the Gutho to Drinky trade the week just gone and move on from there. So yeah, fullback, outside of those few, it's not great, but if you're getting those few right, you are absolutely winning at the moment. So congrats to the people that are. And that's fullback, and that's Supercoach heading into this week. I think I'm going to make the 3 trades. Preston will come out. I'll probably leave Sandon Smith. Might lose Purdue, and I think I'm going to lose Gutho. And if I can do triple trade to 3 guns, Lucas probably going to come in. Guys like Fletcher Sharp are of interest to me as well. And then centre wing will be interesting to see who comes in for that third one, or what cash I do have available. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out, guys. We'll catch me in the trades video at the end of the week there to see who I end up going with. I'll work that out over today and tomorrow. And I wish you guys all the best of luck heading into round 10 of NRL Supercoach. Hopefully it's a big week for myself and for all you guys out there.